Hello, my name's Matt, and once upon a time I used to do retro gaming videos, and well, I've been thinking about maybe doing some again. It's actually been about 2.5 years since my last retro gaming video on this channel, which was my Witchfinder's Gaming Vault, and between then and now I kind of lost interest in retro gaming for a bit. I got interested in going to theme parks, and there are some theme park videos on my channel, and I basically use my YouTube channel to dump various bits and pieces of video that I've done over the last few years, but nothing to do with gaming for about 2.5 years. Before that, I actually did a series called the Mastertronic Chronicles, which I did a collection of all the Mastertronic games for the Commodore 64 and reviewed them all, and it's actually just about exactly 5 years since that series finished, give or take a few weeks, and actually 8 years since I started it. And watching back some of those videos after, it's probably 3 or 4 years since I've even watched one of those videos, I quite enjoyed watching some of those videos, and I still get more comments on those videos than I do anything else I've ever done. So that got me thinking about maybe doing another Commodore 64 collection, and with me being stuck indoors quite a lot at the moment due to the current coronavirus lockdown we've got in the UK, I was thinking maybe, yeah, I'll start occupying some of my time by doing another Commodore 64 collection series. So yeah, that's what I've decided to do, and that's why I'm doing this video, to announce that series. So I looked at a few different creators of, or publishers I should say, of Commodore 64 games to try and decide who to do a collection for. Again, I wanted to do it similar to the Mastertronic one, where I stick to budget games just because I think they come in nice, easy to collect packaging. The small tape cases work really well for putting together a collection without it taking up too much room, and they all look quite nice on a shelf together. So one of the obvious ones that stood out to me as a possibility was Codemasters, but in the end I decided not to bother with them because they've got a pretty good selection of games, but there's a lot of sports games, and most sports games, retro sports games in particular, are pretty bad, you know, 20 or 30 years later. They also do a lot of flick screen, platform, arcade adventure type things, and they're not really my kind of thing. So, you know, all the Dizzy stuff and things like that. So the thought of playing 5 or 6 Dizzy games really didn't appeal to me, to say the least. So I discounted Codemasters. There's a few other budget publishers like Players and Zeppelin and Alternative Software. They've got a mixed bag of games, a few re-releases, a few games that might be quite good, but I think there's actually a lot of crap that was done by those publishers as well, you know, your typical sort of budget crap. So again, discounted those. Another idea I had was to do games, rather than collect a particular publisher's games, do like all games based on movies or all games based on TV shows. Again, I think there'd be a lot of rubbish there, so I decided against that, and also it's difficult to get a definitive list of exactly what games there are to collect or play in the first place. So with all that in mind, I looked at my collection of games I'd already got, and I decided that the best option would be to do a collection of Firebird budget games. That's Firebird Silver Selection, or it's also then later known as Silverbird. So the good thing I found there was there's a website called the Bird Sanctuary, which covers all the old games released by the different Firebird software brandings like Firebird, Silverbird, Rainbird, all those kind of things. It's a good website, you should take a look at it. Unfortunately it's not updated anymore, but what it has got is a definitive list of every game that was released. So I started with that list. I then trimmed it down to the ones that were only released for the Commodore 64, and I ended up with 95 games, which is a reasonable sized collection. I think it's 95. There's a couple of games I'm a bit iffy about, because I looked on eBay to see which games were available. There's a few that I couldn't find, but I found pictures of them and things like that, so I'm pretty sure there's like 95, 96 games. I looked at my collection that I've already got, and I've already got about 30 of them, so I'm already a third of the way there. So it seemed like a good choice where I hadn't got to put too much effort in, and I'd already got a selection of games to play through already. So that's what I'm going with. I'm calling this new series the Silverbird Selection, and I'll be starting that in the very near future. The format will be very similar to the Mastertronic Chronicles. I'll take a look at the packaging for the game, the instructions, the loading screens where applicable, play the game and tell you what I thought about it, and see if it was worth the £1.99 or in some cases £2.99 that was originally charged for the game. Couple of things I'm going to add in that I didn't do before. I'm going to do an actual rating of each game, so I'm going to rate it out of 10 on 5 categories, which will be the packaging, the presentation of the game within the game, the graphics, the sound and the playability. I'm actually going to weight it towards playability and away from the packaging, so that a good game with crap packaging or crap graphics will get a better score than a game with good graphics or sound but not very good playability. That's the idea anyway. We'll see how it turns out. So yeah, as before, very similar idea. I also do collection updates and things like that. I do think this collection, albeit it's only half the size of the Mastertronic one roughly, will actually be harder to collect for, because some of the games seem to be quite rare. Some of them people are asking sort of £10 to £15 for a crappy budget game on eBay, and I'm not prepared to pay that. Again, I want to try and keep them that my average price spend under £2 to £3 like I did for the Mastertronic collection. So I think it will be a bit of a long haul thing, but my aim is to try and review just one game a week, maybe two, while we're during this coronavirus lockdown. So it will be sort of a slow burner over the next 2 years. Hopefully I'll maintain the enthusiasm for it that I have now, but who knows, I could just give up halfway through. Hopefully not. So there you go, that's the overview of the series that I'm about to start. I'm hoping to kick that off in the next couple of days with an overview of the collection that I've got so far. Then I'll start reviewing the games. So if you like the sound of this, then leave us a comment. If you're happening upon this video for the first time and you've not seen the Mastertronic Chronicles, maybe you want to go back and have a look at them, and if you like the format of them, expect exactly the same principle from what I'm going to do now. And just on a side note, during the course of this collection, while we are in this lockdown situation, I'm going to try and grow a beard, which I've never really done before. Don't really see the point in having a shave while I'm not going out anywhere. So as the videos progress, you're likely to see more facial hair, and also this hair is going to get a bit of a mess because I can't go out to a barber to get it cut. So that should be fun to watch. Maybe not so much for you, but for me, if I watch back in a year's time, it should be interesting to see how my facial hair growth goes on. So yeah, we'll see how the collection and the beard growth goes very soon. Tune back in the next few days for my first video from this new series.